Hey Hofstra fans, welcome inside the WB Mason Coaches Report with Mo Cassara. I'm Anthony Barron, joined by Mo Cassara, the head coach of the Hofstra men's basketball team. Coach, thanks for the time. How are you?
Good, Anthony. How are you today?
Doing pretty good, Coach. You had 3 games in CAA play this past week, so we'll break them down game by game. First game, down in Richmond, always a tough place to win against VCU, and you guys really competed with them for the first half, and then they started to pull away in the second half a little bit. Their defense proving to be too much.
Yeah, it's continued to be a little bit of a trend for this year, unfortunately. You know, we've continued to either be up at the half or right in the game at the half. You know, 3-point game, I think, down at VCU. Their pressure really wore us down in the second half. You know, a place that Hofstra has never won before. A lot of credit to VCU and their continued defensive pressure. Something we have to continue to work on, trying to find a way to finish games.
Wednesday night, you come back to the MAC. The students were back for the George Mason game. Again, another game where you came up just a little bit short, but the defense was fantastic for your team in the first half. You held George Mason in single digits for the first 17 minutes of play.
Thought we did a great job. You know, great to have our students back. Student section was terrific. Beating Mason, the top team in our league, you know, arguably at the half, up 2 with a minute to go, and again, had a couple great looks to try to win the game. They just didn't go down, and that's been a little bit of a constant theme for us this year.
The third game, you went on the road to Northeastern. Again, just another game in CAA play. You come up short with a single-digit loss against the Huskies.
You know, a lot of credit to Northeastern. They're playing very well. You know, their overall record is just a little over 500. They've played a very challenging schedule, but their in-league record is very good, and they're playing probably as well as anybody right now. They have a slow, kind of grinded-out style. They play some 3-2 zone, and they did some great things around the basket. That was the first game I really felt for us over the course of last month where fatigue and legs and you know, became a factor for us. So we hung in there, you know, close game at the half, 1-point game at the half, and then, you know, again, the constant theme where we have to find a way to win games down the stretch.
Now, this was the second time in the CAA slate, so we're still not even out of the month of January yet, and you've had 2 times where there's been 3 games in a single week. With a short lineup as it is, Stephen Mejia, who's not at 100%, a very limited rotation, how tough is this on your team to keep everybody rested and be able to play a full 40 minutes?
Well, it's a challenge. You know, it's a real challenge this time of year, especially when you're not coming out with some victories. You know, you get a close, hard-fought victory at James Madison. That gave us a shot in the arm going into last week, and I thought really for the first half of the week we played very well. Obviously, we had 2 losses, but we were very competitive, other than a little stretch at VCU and a little bit of a stretch in the second half of Northeastern. I thought we really had a pretty solid week, just weren't able to get the win. So we have to continue to push some different buttons, find some different ways, and you know, we have a very favorable schedule here and a very favorable month as far as being at home and stringing some games together at home and playing some teams that I think we're going to have an opportunity to have a chance to win if we can remain competitive.
Now, you brought up being at home. You have 2 games at home this week. Decent turnout for the students to come back to against George Mason. How happy are you that now winter break is finally over and you do have the student body back?
Yeah, it's nice to see the kids back on campus. It's nice for our guys to get back in a little bit of a routine of going to class and getting back in a, you know, a positive student-athlete routine. So hopefully we can build on that a little bit. We're home this week. You know, we're getting back to practice today. We have a little bit of time to practice. We took yesterday off. So we're going to get after it today, and we're going to continue to remain positive and just find a way to hopefully string some wins together.
Now, Towson is your game on Wednesday night. They're coming off of their first win of the entire season. They've struggled, but I'm sure they're going to have all the confidence in the world finally getting that first win.
No question. Happy for Coach Gary and his staff. They're obviously a nice win for them at their place on Saturday after a long season of a lot of games that they really weren't competitive in, but they're very competitive now. You know, they've remained in close games. They've got a little confidence coming in here, so that's certainly a different team coming in here to Wednesday than it was probably 2 weeks ago.
And Georgia State is your matchup on Saturday. Another team with a new coach. They can play defense pretty much as good as anyone in the conference. Beat VCU earlier on in the season. What are you expecting from that? You
know, that's the one team I haven't seen a lot this year for whatever reason, whether it's on film or I haven't seen a lot of common opponents. So I've only seen them at a distance. I don't know Ron Hunter that well, but I have watched that they have been, obviously their record has been very, very good. So that will remain a real quick turnaround for us, but at the same time, a lot of interesting new knowledge on a very good team that's playing very well on Saturday.
All right, Coach. Thanks a lot and good luck.
Thanks, Anthony.
Thank you, Hofstra fans, for joining us inside the WB Mason Coaches Report with Mo Cassara.